Good evening, everybody, and welcome back for some more EGFC Rocket League. I am still Septilus. That handsome man is still Soy, and we're going to be jumping into our second of 4 series here tonight. Now, this one, Soy, we did talk about. We were expecting to maybe be a little bit one-sided, right? But as we've already learned, UTA bringing in a sub tonight could really rock our expectations.
Yeah, this is a huge game for both of these teams as well. The winner of this becomes the number 1 seed in that Western Conference because of the way things have played out. And these two teams, they met before already once this season, way back in week 7, and it was a very close series. Went to game 5, and UTA outscored Colorado 17-16 the last time these two teams met. So if that is the case, that it is not the full lineup for UTA, we are bound for another good one here.
Without a doubt in my mind. And UTA, they may have kind of the, what I'm going to refer to, I guess, as the top seed advantage of their entire roster is probably incredibly, insanely very strong. I know a lot of schools, when they have to bring in a substitution, they may have to bring in somebody from, a JV team or a C team. But the way UTA runs, first of all, their esports program, and B, their Rocket League team, I can only assume that they are going to bring in an absolute powerhouse of a player tonight.
Yeah, and we saw a couple of those substitutes in the fall split overall. I'm not sure if they got the chance to play against this Colorado team, but when we got to see them, they looked very strong. And Colorado, on the flip side of that, they are kind of the roller coaster. There are weeks where they just take off. Their offense explodes. They are so quick to the punch. But there are also weeks where we've seen them get shut down, get pinned down in their own corner, and can't get much going. So we'll have to see which Colorado team it is this week.
Yeah, which Colorado team is it going to be, Soy? That is absolutely the question on everybody's mind. Thumper trying to show us an aggressive one, but unfortunately ball control snatched right back away. I love this stage, this arena. I truly am not sure I've ever seen it before, and I'm really enjoying it. I love the dark colors here. But Polkadot now from the side of UTA trying to make some waves, trying to make some action happen here in the center field. Unfortunately, Colorado doing a really good job of just kind of stealing this ball control on loop and actually finding the first goal of the matchup, Soy. That is UC Colorado here. They're going to be able to find that first goal.
Spark, such a good clear there, nearly finds a way to put it on net, and that is the danger of Colorado. They stretch the field so well. They are so good at getting a player down the field fast and finding those long passing lanes, and that's what UTA is going to have to be careful for as this set goes on.
Samba trying to get up close. No, not trying. Succeeding to single-handedly drive that ball directly into goal, tying things up early here. Not even a minute off the clock, and we are already 1-1 on the board.
What an angle from Samba. That catch was so clean, and he's basically going from goal line extended there. That's an angle that you think, okay, someone will get in the way of it, and nope, he just does it all by himself.
Spark going to fall a little bit wide, unfortunately, not able to find the appropriate lineup. Thumper trying to steal ball control back, but UTA looking for and finding that second goal. Soy Polkadot coming in. I believe Polkadot is the sub on the side of UTA, but that seems like it is not stopping them much at all.
Yeah, no, Polkadot is the sub, but the key there, great shot placement. The back post is the place the defense is not ready for at all. You can see he has to cover the entire net, and sweeping left to right gives him no chance at that back post shot.
1 minute down, only 1 minute down. A shocking revelation here, but UTA, they find themselves up 2-1 on the series, and they're in that comfortable position where their offense doesn't have to be as aggressive, or, they can play a little bit more of a defense here. Knowing collegiate players, though, they're going to go for as many goals as they can, right? Nobody's going to be playing this game slow if they don't have to.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, but that being said, UTA trying to slow this pace down a little bit. They know Colorado likes that, quick decision-making type of play, and this is why Adverse there again finds the close angle to make it 3-1.
And I want to talk about right away as well, we've gotten confirmation here that the only undefeated teams we have in the EGFC right now are UTA, University of Montana, and Northern Arizona University. So these teams are few and far between of being undefeated. UTA, they are trying to keep that streak alive, currently sitting at a 13-0 scoreline. So
you got to remember, too, UTA, they are the 2-time EGFC defending champions overall. Yes. They have been so close to getting... so close to getting the ball here as this one sneaks into the back of the net.
Yeah, perhaps a bit of a miscommunication, a bit of a misplay, and it looks like a lack of boost. Unfortunately, Polka Dot falling just a little bit shy. Now I want to jump back and retract a little bit. North Arizona University is undefeated, but they've also just joined the EGFC. They've only played 5 games, so for the time being, I am going to exclude them from that original statement. The only 2 full-season undefeated teams are UTA and the University of Montana, both of them sitting at 13-0, and like we said, I mean, UTA, they're looking to find that 14th. However, Colorado, been a run for their money.
And Colorado is one of those teams in the West that's given them trouble in the past. Although they haven't been able to defeat them in the postseason, the regular season games have always been close. And I think it's because those West Coast schools, they just play a different style than a lot of the East Coast teams that you see. And right now, UTA beginning to find a few open spaces here and capitalizing on kind of the lack of space that Colorado has given them.
Colorado, I completely agree, has been giving them a real lack of space, a real lack of time to succeed. Samba going for a goal once again to secure more than a 1-point lead for UTA. Goes for a second attempt on their lonesome, follows the ball from one side of the goal to the other, and Colorado forced into nothing but a defense. Right as I say it, though, Spark finally going to be able to break through, rushing toward the back third of UTA, looking for an opportunity to strike. Adverse there to disrupt at a crucial moment. Is the follow-up going to be there? Adverse, the single defender there, able to keep the dream alive and the lead alive for UTA.
That was a great chance from Colorado. That all comes off the dunk of Spark, and then they quickly attack. The problem was the shot just didn't get there fast enough. AP focused on shot placement, but here he's going to find the back of the net. It's Thumper to tie the game.
Who is this Thumper tonight, Soy? Oh my goodness, an absolute mad lad on the field right now. Walks that bad boy in there, a 3v1 against UTA's sole goalie there. That defender not able to do enough with 104 seconds left on the clock, so we are tied up 3-3. Easily our highest scoring game of the night.
And this is one of those teams that, oh boy, here's a chance. Thumper with a huge save, but Thumper is one of the key players for this Colorado offense. When he gets going, the Buffaloes look unstoppable. I remember commentating a series against Marist where he just found incredibly ridiculous angles, and he became kind of the player to watch throughout that series. So the fact that he's on the scoreboard here late in this first game is a good sign.
Yeah, being on the scoreboard late in the first game not only is a great sign for the player themselves, but for momentum as a whole for the team. Game 1 is a very unique game because it is all about reading your opponents, reading their play styles, and finding their habits that you can later exploit down the line. But with only 1 minute left on the clock, tied up 3-3, somebody's got to turn on the gas here.
Someone's going to have to make a play, step up, and right now UTA, that's a double commitment, but that's a good shot on, and AP is able to get there. Thumper with the chip up. AP passing play there. Spark is going to have some time and room. What can Colorado do with this ball?
Colorado, they have ball control here. Only 35 seconds left on the clock. Thumper looking for another opportunity to strike, but it's an immediate trade in the air. Ball lining that center field, rushing toward the goal of Colorado, and it is just going to be walked in by the hero known as Samba. The Dark Knight, when they were needed most, comes in and dunks that goal in favor of UTA.
What a touch by Samba off of that air dribble, and this all comes off of Colorado. They're trying to race to the ball, but they're getting heavy dunks, which means that the ball ends up going far away, and they have to backtrack, and there's just no boost left in their backfield in order to make that play. And once again, Samba, the clutch touch that UTA needs to get them the lead.
10 seconds left. That touch was crucial, pivotal even, Soy, for UTA to win Game 1 with 5 seconds remaining. The dream for UC looks like, Colorado, CU, not UC, will be closing the doors on their dream here in Game 1. No way, UTA finds, no, it's going to fall just a little bit short. They go for that 5th goal, but unfortunately not able to line it up.
And a very close Game 1 overall, but like you saw, UTA just the angles that they found, and there's something to be said about kind of the difficulty of the shots that UTA is capitalizing on. Think back to the first 2 goals. Those are 0 angle chances that they're able to generate, and just the defense of Colorado just either not expecting the difficult play to be made or just not ready at the back of the net to try and contest those shots. Their offense, it can keep pace with UTA, but their defense has to step up and give them a chance in these games, because as you can see, UTA's offense, it's not slowing down.
Yeah, oh, not in the slightest. I mean, this is UTA getting warmed up here in Game 1. They win by a single point with 10 shots on goal. Colorado only able to bring 6 to the table there, so a definite aggression advantage in favor of Arlington here tonight. And Colorado, they are starting strong, losing by only a single point. 10 seconds of the game, so Game 2 could probably be just as close, if not closer, maybe even in favor of Colorado. However, the more time UTA has to play, the stronger they are going to get. That's just how that team works.
The thing I'm looking for here in game number 2 is Colorado. They love those stretch passes. They love the chemistry that these 3 players have. But you saw that chemistry was quickly shut down. They couldn't stretch the field as much as they wanted to after the first minute or so of that game. Can they find those gaps? Can they find those passing lanes once again in game number 2 and get back to that kind of comfort level? Or will Samba find a double tap? No, but the rebound will go in, and Adverse is right there. If Samba won't score, it's Adverse next on the block.
Yeah, Samba trying to single-handedly walk that, or rather drive that ball into goal once again. But the true driving force of UTA is their follow-ups. Adverse able to find that goal for UTA. Not even 30 seconds off the clock, Soy.
The air dribbles from UTA are just so deadly. They're so clean at catching the ball. Even Samba there off a bounce. That is not an easy play to make. And it forces these difficult challenges from the side of the Colorado defense, and this was the big question coming into today's match. We knew these offenses were very powerful, but it was a question of whose defense could stand taller, and right now, the Mavericks defense, it's holding on.
Mavericks there coming in strong here, so, and I've got to say, Polka Dot, we were worried about that substitution, right? But, I mean, if you didn't tell me beforehand, I may not have even been able to tell that Polka Dot was not supposed to be here on the starting line for UTA. Samba, our player of the century, Samba, able to come through, put that second goal down. A minute difference, a minute off the clock, and already UTA up 2-0.
I mean, it's just something else. How many touches does he get along the sidewall there? And all of those touches, because of the space between him and the wall, just make it so hard for the defense to make that difficult read. And then he, again, has the perfect shot placement to the back post.
Great disruption from Thumper here in the center field. It's going to be another huge moment for Colorado, but unfortunately, UTA is just there to follow up when they need to. Samba, with that single-handed, star-studded play style we know and love, unfortunately is not able to put it away. UTA, though, I've got to say they're doing a really good job of just continuously peppering this ball back into Colorado's back third.
It's forcing Colorado once again to try and traverse the whole field. And that typically hasn't been a problem because, again, they like to stretch the field. They want to find those deep booming passes. But you can see right now, because of UTA's pressure, because they're forced into that back third constantly, there's just no one upfield for the Buffaloes.
Yeah, and nobody being able to find themselves upfield is, of course, as Rocket League works, going to make it that much harder to score, right? If your entire team is playing a little bit more of a rough defense, being forced into a defensive play style, the offense isn't going to work. And so I feel like I say this a lot, but I also think I haven't brought it up in a while. I think this is a really good example of our proactive versus reactive play styles, right? We're seeing UTA feels like they're playing 2-3 steps ahead every time. They're playing proactively, they have their setups, and they're going to follow through on them, forcing Colorado to react every single time. And just like this, Colorado is unfortunately not going to be able to react to every single one. Some will eventually slip through the cracks just like this. Spark falls a little bit short, and that is all UTA needed to put that third goal on the board.
Yeah, hard defensive play there, but you're absolutely right. It feels like Colorado came in with a game plan, and that is, what has worked for them, their bread and butter. But then UTA quickly adapted, and now they've got the read, and it's showing up in spades here to make it 4-0.
4-0. We've just entered halftime, so this game has been one of our higher scoring ones so far. I mean, the first series was separated by a single point every single time, and that was, 2 1s, 1 0s. But right now, we are looking at 3 3s, 4 0s. I mean, these players are putting a lot on the board here tonight in UTA. They're looking to make that number as high as they possibly can. Spark with a little bit of time to shine here, but Polka Dot with a phenomenal disruption to bounce off the wall to knock it up in favor of UTA. Once again, Thumper gets it away from goal. That's not exactly what you want to be doing in this circumstance.
It's a hard play, but one that Thumper's got to be able to come up with. The demo came through on the back line, so the net was open, and Thumper knows he's the next player up to make that shot, but those are those zero angle goal line extended type of shots that UTA was able to sink earlier, and Thumper just didn't have the time to make that read on it. That was a huge bump in the midfield. That was a shooting lane taken away by the physicality of UTA.
"90 seconds remain, and unfortunately we're in one of those scenarios where Colorado is probably going to find themselves on the end of this wrap-up. Honestly, I mean, they're going to be on the wrong end of a game situation, finding themselves down 2-0 of UTA on the series. And so with the way UTA is playing tonight, I think it would be nothing short of a miracle for Colorado to turn this around.
Absolutely, and Colorado knows it too. They're trying to get something here off of that breakout play, but the pass ends up falling just a little bit too slow, and UTA's defense is able to hold on. That's something that this team has really thrived off of, is look at them in transition. That pass play to Samba, that defense, it makes one solid play, and then they're quickly able to break upfield, and at breakneck pace, they force a hard play from the Colorado defense once again.
40 seconds left, 1 goal per 10 seconds for Colorado, but that involves them getting ball control. And I do want to jump back and say, I don't think Colorado is playing poorly in the slightest. I think it's just that UTA is playing too many steps ahead, and unfortunately Colorado has not been able to respond appropriately to these shots quite yet. UTA is just 2, 3, 5 steps ahead, and that one was just unfortunate.
Yeah, this challenge here, Spark knocks it down, and AP's there, but Polka Dot beats into the punch, and like you said, just no one back. In Colorado here, they're going to have to go back to the drawing board quickly here in the last 20 seconds if they're going to have to find a way to battle back. But it's like you said, Colorado's not playing bad. The problem is UTA, they have a read on what they want to do, and they are executing to perfection. Colorado has to change up the strategy in game number 3 if they want to try and bring the series back.
Yeah, game number 3 is going to be the name of the game. Well, the name of the game is always Rocket League, but the name of the game right now for Colorado is going to be that game 3 existence. UTA winning 5-0 in game 2, so incredibly hyper-aggressive, a very one-sided matchup, and now Rocket League has just been UTA's bread and butter, like you said. Colorado, they've got it. Rather than saying they've got to step it up here, Soy, what do you want to see them change moving into Game 3? What do you think could help them clutch out a Game 3 win?
So Colorado, like I've said, they like to try and stretch the field, and that's clearly not working because they can't break out of their own zone.
Right.
So what you have to do here is when you are pinned back, constantly, you have to be able to either A, break out all at the same time, or just have a player win a one-on-one type of battle, because you're not able to stretch the field. Colorado loves to, send the house basically, all 3 players or 2 and 1 and kind of separate themselves. But if you're, having to traverse the whole field, you have to have a player back and ready on defense, because you can't just keep letting in goals like this. So you have to find a way to either work horizontally or just win a one-on-one, win a 50-50, and just have that little bit cleaner of a rotation, because that committal of 2 men forward or 3 men forward, it's just being shut down time and time again.
Yeah, it's that continuous shutdown that's really starting to do numbers against Colorado, but when we needed them to step it up most, Soy, they're going to be able to bring that out in the blink of an eye. Colorado with an 8-second goal off the wall here.
And this is what we like to see, because again, here's the breakout. They get 1 man going forward, 1 man going back, and the kick out on the clear attempt from UTA gets punished because the 3rd man is so quick to that punchline that he finds the open net. That's the key for Colorado. The UTA is forcing an honest game out of them. The tricks from them are no longer working. They've got to find a way to maintain that possession, maintain those chances. But look at the line drive from Polka Dot.
My goodness, this has just been a good turnaround for UTA here in the first 30 seconds of this game. Colorado, they score early. UTA, they answered straight away. And the downside of Rocket League is now all we've done is walk ourselves right back to a 0-0.
And those breakout plays, that's what UTA has found an answer in. Those passing plays, that's a good angle shot from Samba here. Look how quickly they race up to this ball, and Adverse changing the angle at the last second, and then Samba finds the back post once again. There's just no chance for the defense when you're stuck on the goal line like that.
Yeah, that's just one of those unfortunately non-existent defense moments. There's so little the players can do, and speaking of the players doing much, Thumper is going to get themselves sent to the junkyard here. That demolition does come through. Spark finding a counter demo, a very brief 2v2 lineup here, but UTA, they are desperate to get this ball back into the goal of Colorado. They want to give themselves more than that 1-point cushion. Okadad coming through hot. Oh, Thumper, what a follow-up there. A very impressive one.
Couple of demos both ways, open up the field. AP wins the race to the ball, and guess who? It's Thumper inside the box, and UTA, the defense, just not ready for it. There's that speed that we were looking for Colorado to get upfield.
Speed is the name of the game, but can Colorado keep that speed up? I've got to say, this is easily the closest we've seen in these schools in skill level so far. Game 1 was very close, but there were a lot of clunky goals, and right now, every goal has felt earned. Every single opportunity so far has felt like these teams are just coming out large and in charge. A huge opportunity for Colorado to win Game 3, maybe force a 4, maybe force a 5, but with UTA scoring that 3rd point, it becomes that much harder to walk away with a victory.
It's kind of strange, too, because now you're seeing similar offenses from both teams where they both have that kind of one-on-one-on-one rotation, and Polkadot is just able to sneak behind the back line, take some boost, and because of how hard they won the 50-50, he's got a walk-in goal to give UTA the lead.
Thumper had a huge opportunity to strike, however, Samba was in the right place at the right time, keeping that away. And Soy, I can't believe we just passed the 90-second marker of this game. We still have 3.5 minutes left, already 5 points on the board.
Yeah, we talk typically about how explosive the Big East offenses are. These are the two schools out west, I think, that could match that pace for pace if that were the case here. And this is why, they're so good. I mean, you look at the defenses from UTA and how well they've been at shutting teams down. And Colorado, for the few chances they've had, they've been able to bury them. It's just a matter of can their defense hold long enough to give their offense a chance to go out and win the game. And so far, the answer has been no, but they've started to gather up some boost and some possession here. This is a passing play from Thumper, and AP on a hard angle can't redirect that one back on net.
No redirects coming out quite yet, and we're finally going to be jumping into that second half of the game. I'm expecting, that second half boost to make an appearance for these players. UTA, they want to find that 4th goal. They want to give themselves a 2-point cushion, because that could all but guarantee them a 5th victory here tonight. However, Colorado, with the way they have really been turning on these boosters in this final game, there is so many opportunities for them to walk away with a Game 3 victory and push us that much further.
Colorado's offense, it's getting some chances, but you're seeing just time and time again, Spark finds the angle here. I was saying UTA was forced to make the difficult plays. All of a sudden, one mistake was all it was going to take, and Spark punishes him accordingly.
Minutes remain. Colorado, they are fighting tooth and nail to walk away with a Game 3 victory, and as we unfortunately just found out, the next series actually isn't going to be happening, so that gives us more time to be jumping into this series. I'd love to see a Game 3. I'd love to see a Game 5, and right now, UTA, they are desperate to make anything but that happen. They want to get another goal in. Samba trying to walk it up at AP, a huge opportunity to steal that away. Colorado with ball control now in a crucial moment, up and above, back into center field. Samba trying to catch it out, has the momentum, but is it going to be enough? A whiffed shot from UTA is going to cost them that extra goal.
Colorado has to jump so early for a lot of these plays because there's already a UTA player up in the air. These 50-50 reads are so difficult, and now you're seeing Colorado forced back into this back third again. How do they find a way to break out? Can they gather up some possession? Can they clear the ball? That's the question here in the last minute or so.
65 seconds left between an overtime, a 3-0, or a 2-1 scoreline. The possibilities right now, Soy, are infinite on which way this series is going to go. 55 seconds and counting. UTA, a great opportunity to strike the goal. Left wide open as Thumper is destroyed, but AP there to snap into that goalie position. AP getting a little bit of momentum, knocking it away from Colorado's goal, and UTA looking to knock it right back in. Samba trying to be that striker the team needs right now. Colorado, they have an answer for everything UTA is bringing to the table, Soy.
They finally break through that midfield line, but Polka Dot quick to shut down that play. Here's some space for Spark to work with, but it's going to be difficult off the corner down in front. No one there as the demo came through in the corner. You're seeing now these challenges. They're so deadly. They're so quick to the ball. It's one small mistake at this pace that could mean the game for either team.
10 seconds remaining, and like you said, Soy, the next mistake will most likely be the last one of the game, and as we are down into 5 seconds and counting, I highly suspect we are looking at an overtime. Colorado, a great opportunity to strike. AP tries to knock it in, but it's going to be adverse with the defensive block of a lifetime to keep the dream alive. Overtime, for those who may not know, will begin to count up and will continue to do so until somebody puts a goal away. There are no ties in the world of Rocket League.
AP is a hard read off the ceiling. He doesn't get the touch, and Polka Dot and Samba combining to get this one out. Spark's got to be very careful with this one. AP was there, and because of that, Adverse now has to boom this one down the field, and you can see they're able to find those pockets in the opponent's half to clear this ball away. Colorado is starting to find their footing in the series. They're starting to find some of these passing lanes thanks to some physicality as well. Both teams, a lot of these demos are coming from just racing not only after the ball, but after the boost as well.
This is such a nail-biter of a matchup. All I ask for when I cast Rocket League, Soy, is we get some good games. And AP trying to give us the upset of the century there, trying to put that first game away in Colorado's win bracket, but unfortunately not able to find it yet. Now a double demolition against UTA. However, somehow it's Adverse with ball control. It's a 3v1 and Adverse still going to walk that almost all the way to Colorado's goal. Over almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, so it's going to be UTA keeping the dream alive. We are well over a minute into this third game, and UTA, they are not going to let Colorado win this one easily.
Oh, that shot is in! Off the post and out! AP barely holds on to keep the Buffalo's dream alive. How does that ball not cross the goal line?
Unbelievable. That doesn't count, and Colorado tries to walk away with a win off the back. Oh, is that it? No! Oh my goodness, Adverse going to be blocked out as well. Tooth and nail, Soy, tooth and nail. These teams are fighting right now. Thumper has to play that goal. He has to keep the dream alive, and only a minute 50 has passed in the overtime. As close could be for these goals, but neither of them going in quite yet.
Hard bounce off the wall. AP's got to be careful with this one. Sends it off the boards, and that's a good clear, but quickly traversed down by Samba. It's kicked back into the UTA half, and you're seeing now both teams so quick to these 50-50s. That's a good redirect. Spark has to play this one, and he will be able to do so. But the passing plays here from UTA are going to buy him some time here. AP, that's a hard pitch off the wall. Spark's in a weird spot, but the demo comes through, and that's going to be just enough time for Colorado to clear this ball once again.
2:30 and counting. We are halfway through an additional game of Rocket League here tonight, and these teams are just going to be going absolute pedal to the metal time and time again. A double attempt from the side of UTA, going to be blocked out by Thumper both times. It's going to be a lot of pressure. Polka Dot has to go up and above Spark with a phenomenal setup on goal. Where's the follow-up button? You need it. Nobody is there to catch it out. AP going for the goal. That's wide open. Soy! Colorado has done it. They are walking away with that third game victory. UTA as close could be, but close is simply not going to matter here tonight. We are going all the way to a game 4.
You've been talking about it all day. The physicality comes in clutch for Colorado along the back line. They get the demo, and Thumper finds the space he needs and the power shot to put that one in the back of the net. And Colorado, finally, they win enough races to the ball to find the space to open up a game 4.
Colorado taking us all the way to game 4. And I've got to say, win or lose this series, they just took a game off of UTA, which is something some schools in the EGFC have never done before. That is a feat in its own right, Soy. That is an incredible thing for a team to be able to do that. And moving into game 4, UTA maybe shaking a little bit, right? They lose a game that's a little scary. They're 13-0. They don't want to risk that. But it's going to be this next game that really determines if they start shaking in their boots.
Yeah, I mean, this game took so much effort from Colorado. You can tell they played their hearts out just to get to this point, and it still went to a 3-minute overtime just to get one game off of UTA. I mean, UTA, they are so multifaceted that it's hard to really, find an aspect that they're lacking and to punish accordingly. But Colorado, there were numerous times that game where it was just 150 and then followed by a demo that opened up the space for both teams, and finally Colorado was the one that was able to take advantage of it.
I am very impressed by Colorado's resilience here. I think there was a very rough series at the beginning. I think we started that 3-0, 2-0. UTA took a very aggressive lead early. Colorado simply refused to go down. They fought till the bitter end, that final second, that final goal. They win that first game. They put it in the win column, and now can they do it one more time? So can they force that game 5? Only time can tell. This is going to be an incredible end to what has been an amazing series so far.
And you got to think back to that moment in overtime, too, where the ball is on the Colorado goal line for so long, and no one was able to get back in time to that, that ball for UTA. This is a different type of map.
Yeah, we've gotten confirmation the players are down. They are interested, and I can see why. This is a very small map, a very close quarters map in UTA. They are starting strong. Samba, I think, with this map in particular, is going to just get to play the hero. Play completely on his own and work magic.
Yeah, so the difference about this map is instead of it being the rectangle with the curved walls, it is a hexagon. Which means that you are able to approach the net from the walls a whole lot easier. And if there's one place that UTA thrives, it is on those air dribbles. So both teams, they will love this because of how long they like to stay in the air and how often they go for these air dribble type of plays. And also, the middle of the field is so open. You can kind of pass to yourself off of these walls if you're seeing, even there, Polkadot trying to find the passing lane. This is going to be a really interesting match to see how they play with so much space to use.
I think we're essentially watching the Rocket League equivalent of a cage match right now. I mean, these players, way closer than they usually are, trying to make these air juggles work. Like you said,
and the ball going to find its way to the UTA half here. That's a hard shot down.
Flying off the wall is going to be...
And we have some technical difficulties, but no worries. As Samba says, it doesn't matter. I'll put this one into the back of the net. But UTA, I mean, they have the 2-goal lead. And again, I think the key here is that they're able to take advantage of the space. Like what Septlitz was saying, or you were saying before, is that, because these teams are so quick to the ball, there's so much more space to work with off of these 50s. Every play off the wall just becomes more and more dangerous. And look how quickly Colorado is able to jump on this one, but players are ready for it until that moment where Spark puts one on the board.
Oh my goodness, Spark, just a phenomenal placement there. Truly an amazing opportunity. Just sees a moment to strike and follows through on it. Past not one, but 2 defenders as well. I mean, just what an opening for Colorado to find. Only 90 seconds down, UTA up by a single point. Colorado's looking to tie this one up early.
Got plenty of time to do it. Spark, that's a hard kick out. That's a great pass off the post, off the goalie, and it's still kept out. Polkadot with a huge save. Oh, and in transition, it's adverse.
Yep. I was going to say, not only with a huge save, but a huge transition into adverse to just walk it all the way down the field. Not a player in sight. Spark, unfortunately, too little, too late. UTA, they found that cushion goal. They found that comfortability, and Zoe, they are looking mighty good here in Game 4.
Those are the marks of a championship team. The ball is on the goal line, and Polkadot, the sub of this team, no panic as he makes the save, gets it to Adverse's hood, and then Adverse just poised and ready to flick that ball into the back of the net. And they're continuing to roll here. That's another shot off the post and out, and Colorado escape another goal.
Escaping another goal by the skin of their teeth or by the rubber of their wheels. I don't know what analogy would work for cars there, but either way, it's going to be half the game already down, and UTA up by 2 points. Colorado, they were in identical position, Soy. On that last game, they were able to clutch it all the way back out 3-3, forcing it overtime and winning it in those final moments.
Well, have to see, though, right now. Look at this. Oh, what a pass to Polka Dot. That was so clean off the sideboards here. Adverse, look at the angle he finds to set up his teammate.
A great play there. Polka Dot, like you said, off of Adverse, right in the goal, past two, maybe even all three defenders from the side of Colorado. And UTA finding themselves up 4-1. We're at 2 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock. That is like 45 seconds of goal. Nobody checked the math on that. And as another goal comes through for AP, that is going to be a huge moment. Now it's 66.5 seconds per goal for Colorado to tie things up onto UTA and Soy. That is more than enough time.
Yeah, a little bit of a mind game there off the kickoff. Thumper picks up the ball, and instead of throwing what seems to be a flick onto net, he throws it off the wall, baiting that last defender and giving AP a chance to put that one back. So like you said, cutting into this lead is massive. Look at UTA Adverse. He maintained control of that ball for so long. He could have flicked it at any moment throughout that spin, but instead, Colorado collapsing on it just in time to make sure that they get this chance here, and Adverse robs them of another.
Minute 45 on the clock. Adverse looking to not only rob them from one, but walk away with another. Samba now coming through, picking out Spark with a phenomenal demolition, and Thumper trying to make the magic happen, but bringing out one of the bulkier cars that we've seen. So this is not one notorious for its versatility.
Yeah, that is actually the brand new car that I think came out yesterday because of the new season, and I'm blanking on the name of it, but it's got the Octane hitbox, if I remember correctly, and he's been putting it to good uses. What an angle from Polka Dot there, nearly sneaking that one in towards the back post, but it certainly feels like when you're using these cars... Oh no, that's a dangerous ball in front, and AP bails himself out, but the press continues here from UTA.
That's so funny. Both of us were like, uh-oh, that is the worst place to have the ball, but it looks like it is going to work out at least well enough for Colorado. They're now looking at themselves 25 seconds-ish per goal if they want to tie things up against UTA. They did it once by the skin of their very teeth back in Game 3. If they can make the magic happen in Game 4, Soy, if they can take UTA to Game 5, that will be a breathtaking, historical moment in the EGFC, but with the way UTA is kicking it up another notch, just when you think they can't be any more impressive, they bring this out to the table tonight, and with 35 seconds left on the clock, they are not going to stop this aggression for even a moment.
Good flick, though. We'll see if Colorado's offense can get anything done here in the last couple seconds. Maybe buy themselves a chance, but AP, that whiff along the wall is not what you need. Sparks backtracking on this one, and Polka Dot is quick to punish. There's just no time left for the Buffaloes to get anything done, and UTA, look at how clean they are. Look at how much space they have, and look at this offense go to work.
This offense went to work indeed. So UTA coming out large and in charge. But I've got to say, once again, my hat off to Colorado because they showed up tonight. What a performance. Almost every game they lost by maybe a single point. There was that 5-0 in the middle, if we're being honest. But everything else, I mean, a nail-biter across the board. I could not be more impressed with Colorado's performance tonight.
Colorado, they are really a strong team when they show up on these key weeks, but I think the difference maker, it's like you said, Colorado looked very impressive, and they forced that kind of championship caliber out of UTA today. Yeah. They forced that difficult scenario time and time again, and UTA, they stepped up to the plate as they have all season long to get to 14-0 now with just 2 weeks remaining.
14-0, 2 weeks remaining. Soy, there is a good chance UTA walks it all the way down undefeated on the season, but we'll have to find out in just a couple of weeks. For now, we're only going to take a break for just a couple of minutes, not a couple of weeks. We're going to throw to a short break, try to get an interview with UTA, and we'll be right back in just a few. Don't go far.